You are now listening to the Peter and Jake Talks Wrasslin podcast, a weekly review of Monday Night Raw and other wrestling-related topics. And here's your hosts, Peter Day and Jake Grandi.
Boom. What up, motherfuckers? You are now
What's up?
Yeah, man, you are now listening to the Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling podcast. And I'm Peter.
This is Jake.
And Jake sounds like a robot right now because it's cold out this motherfucker. And we're not going to be on this podcast for too long. We're just going to give you our predictions to this coming Fastlane, WWE Fastlane. What they call it? They're not pay-per-views. I always get it wrong. Is it like just network events?
I guess it's special events, network events. I think they like go back and forth between deciding they want to call it that and calling it pay-per-view. But I think this one most definitely is a special event, seeing that it's free this month on the network.
But what pay-per-view I guess distributions they're still on? Are they still on Dish?
I'm not sure. I mean, I have the network. I haven't really been paying attention, but I know they're still on. They're not on. I think they might still be on cable, and then I think DirecTV or Dish let them go. But
I think DirecTV let them go. DirecTV and Time Warner let them go. I think Dish stuck around because they still see a little bit of money in pay-per-views because it's Dish, and then you have worldwide pay-per-view that they still make their money worldwide, international, where there isn't the network. Like Japan, Arab nations, India, parts of Europe, because the only places they have it is England, worldwide, and Canada. That's it. That's where all the outside of.
Well, they don't have it in the whole UK, like Scotland and Ireland too.
Yeah, they have it. Yeah, I'm saying they have it just in the the British Islands. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's selective parts of the British Islands. Not all of the British Islands. So, they still make their money. I don't know what people are saying, they're losing money. I think they're making money. I mean, whatever. But just not as much as, say, what you would get off the American dollar. You know what I'm saying? The American dollar is still better compared to, say, what the rest of the world is. But without further ado... plugs. Be sure to check out Peter Talks Wrestling With, and it is a special commentary that features Slag Daddy of the Off the Rope show. Also check out and you plug your NXT.
Oh yeah, we do. Faster Than the World podcast is up this week. The newest one's up. It's a much better show this week, and we're gonna keep them coming to you probably, hopefully, as quick as possible. Every week. What did you think of this week's NXT?
Well, it's funny. I watched it last night and immediately went to listen to your podcast. I don't know. I think for what it's worth, they kept a lot of people off. They're rotating. They're getting a lot of new guys, and they're rotating. Solomon Crow came in, but we didn't get to see Finn Balor. They addressed the.
Well, there was that Finn Balor promo with Rhino, which is a weird feud.
I don't consider that a feud yet. He just happened to walk by. I'm saying the idea of that is a weird feud. Yeah, when he just walked by and stared him down and everything. But the thing, what that reminded me of? That situation reminded me of, say, something that would have happened in the early 90s. Say if, Honky Tonk Man or something is given like a promo, and whoever's just done with their match, like Ultimate Warrior, just kind of wanders back there, just like, what the fuck is that? That's what it reminded me of. I didn't think anything of it. I just thought it was it was funny because even the crowd popped on how random it was. He didn't interrupt. He didn't say anything. He just kind of he's new to the building, so he probably lost his way and just ended up stumbling across. You know what I'm saying? All right, sorry. I thought it was pretty funny. You could tell he was a new.
I just can't.
You can tell he was
I
a
just
good
want to
guy.
know I just want to know who is the agent for Rhino, because he's been in TNA, Ring of Honor, back in WWE, now in NXT. He shows up everywhere.
ROH.
I just want to know how he gets around. Yeah.
Like somebody, I was listening to something and they were mentioning how Rhino was in the beginning video package of both ROH and TNA.
Yeah, I know. I mentioned that, on Best in the World.
Oh, that was you that mentioned that. I just thought that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
See, I listen to your podcast. See, you see how that works? I listen to your podcast.
I mean, I'll listen to you guys. I'll check out you and Newman.
Yeah, I'll hold my breath.
Come on, man.
No, I'm not coming on. Yeah, check out Faster Than their weekly NXT reviews, and then also check out Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling with me and this jabroni review Raw. Calling people jabronis is fun, by the way. I haven't called anyone a jabroni in a while.
Jabroni, jobber.
Yeah, you jabroni. We review Raw every week on Wednesday. Try to get it uploaded Wednesday night. Maybe it's ready for you on Thursday morning. PJTW Central is the website where you can listen to either on Stitcher, on YouTube, on SoundCloud, and also on Tumblr. And then there's also an RSS feed. Be sure to like the stuff on all those platforms. Be sure to like and share. That's how we get the love out there. That's how we move forward, get bigger listeners, and be able to do things like Q&As and shit of that nature. So if you're listening to this, be sure to like it on any of those platforms and share with your friends. It's as easy as clicking a button. And without further ado, let's go into this Fastlane card, WWE Fastlane, because that's how they keep saying it on Raw. They don't just call it Fastlane; they call it WWE Fastlane. So just go down the card completely.
All right. Well, we got starting from the top. We have the main event: Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. Then I think maybe Bad News Barrett and Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental title. Then the Usos versus Cesaro and Kid for the tag titles. Goldust and Stardust. Ziggler, Rowan, and Ryback versus Rollins, Big Show, and Kane, the Authority. And then Rusev and Cena and Nikki Bella and Paige for the women's title. That's the card we have online officially.
So we just go start from the bottom. Let's start from the bottom of that list to the top. So we have Paige versus who?
Nikki Bella for the Divas title.
Okay, let's go ahead and do the prediction on that, because there's not much of a storyline really. It's just we got mean Bellas versus uberly confident and not taking herself seriously confident Paige, where the Bellas are basically doing they're the bullies, they're assholes, they're jerks, they're basically trying to be the head cheerleader versus the science nerd geek who can kick ass. And I see Paige losing. I see Nikki Bella, because she has it. She has the look. I think not the in-ring ability, not anything. If it's anything that I see out of this, is the fact that Brie Bella is a fucking hot bitch, and they still want to showcase her as their women's champion.
I agree with that. I think they're going to do it in the lead-in up until Mania, and I think Paige is going to win at Mania somehow. So I think they're going to do something where the Bellas cheat to win, but nevertheless, I do think Nikki Bella's going to win. So we agree there. But I'm not really, the match might be all right. Not really looking too much forward to it. It is a Bella's match.
Well, the way I see Paige getting beat down the entire time. I see her catching a beat down and then probably at the end get a flurry of moves that will lead to. Sorry, I apologize. Paige is gonna get beat down the entire time. She's gonna look like she's gonna fucking win, and then right at the end, maybe it's gonna be like a little bit of Brie interaction, and she's gonna get her ass in that rack attack, and that's gonna be the match.
Yeah, for sure. And then moving on, I guess we're going to do the U.S. title match, Rusev versus Cena. What do you think's going to happen here? Who you got?
I've said this a million times. I've said this on previous podcasts. Cena, for this to be for the U.S. title, goes to show that this is going to be a no contest. Something's going to happen where, you know, an outside object will be used, or probably brutality to a certain extent, but Cena is not winning that belt, and Rusev isn't really going to win. It's just going to move towards WrestleMania.
I see what you're saying there, but I do think Cena's going to win. I think they can't resist having Cena win on a big show like this, so I'm going to go Cena.
Big show?
This match, 'cause
it's a big enough show, but their big show is Mania. I mean, compared to this.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying the biggest show, but I'm saying like on a pay-per-view, I think they won't Cena win it. Or maybe a main special event like this.
This is a stepping stone. But, you know, I got no DQ. I mean, no contest. Okay. Sorry, no contest. No contest.
Wait, so you got no contest?
Yeah.
So not Rusev.
Because what's happened? You know what? This match would be even better if it was like a no disqualification match. This would actually be a better match. But again, they're holding back for Mania, and I imagine a Mania match will be disqualification. Because if you see the build-up of them just basically kicking each other's asses outside the ring, you know, I see a lumberjack match possibly for Mania to get like guys on the card somehow, you know, a no DQ match. We haven't seen. When's the last time you seen a Mania match that like actually left the ring and went into the crowd and whatnot? I mean, other than say what they did with the Mania main event last year with all the outside ring shit, no DQ. Have you ever seen one since
last year?
Yeah.
I want to say what comes to mind is 27 Undertaker Triple H, where they tear through like Michael Cole's like booth they had there. So that comes out to mind. Maybe JBL and Fit Finlay. I think that was 28, where they wrestled outside in a hardcore match.
So that's a stipulation they don't go to the well too often. Then, you know.
Yeah, maybe every other year. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, do you think it would be a safety precaution of actually going into the stands?
No, I think they got it pretty much well. I don't think he's going to go to the stands. I think.
No, I'm talking about say at a Mania.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to go to the stands in Mania. I think they're just going to have a no DQ match, but they're going to like keep it in the confines. Like the set's so big, they pay him so much money for it. I think they're going to use it if they go anywhere at Mania.
But it would be so badass.
No, in the crowd and everything, yeah, that'd be awesome.
And all the Cena haters would just actually lose their shit. Because I haven't seen a bad match from Cena in a while, dude. Like, I haven't seen one. Just haven't.
Yeah, man. I mean, let's hope he's peaking at the right time, I guess, then, because Mania's coming up.
And Rusev.
I'm way more interested.
Go ahead, sorry.
Say what?
No, I said, and Rusev. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's fine. You can go ahead.
What I was saying was, and Rusev is a formidable opponent because even in himself, he's a great worker in the ring. And that's the thing. You got two big lugs going at it, and it's like an actual heavyweight match, you know? And it's a shame that it's, I guess, is sort of set for a U.S. championship match. I mean, I can easily see this, you know, years from now as a, you know, depending on how long Cena sticks around, if he gets another title shot or if they give the belt to Rusev, to be like an actual heavyweight match, you know, that people would lose their shit for. If he's in there with a jabroni, you know, like Cena's in there with a jabroni, then yeah, it's not going to look so great. But like, you look at Rusev, the way they're pushing him and his in-ring ability, his athleticism, I still think he's, you know, next to Harper, the most athletic guy at his size on the roster. You know, the guy could do anything that Dolph Ziggler or Sami Zayn can do. Almost, probably better. And then at his size, it's fucking unheard of. And he's in there with Cena? I don't know. It's just...
He can't do everything Sami Zayn can do.
I mean, he could do damn near... I bet he could do it closer than any other person his size.
Yeah, that's true. But I was just like, I mean, he's good, but I don't think he's that good. I think this match is going to be pretty good, but I think they're going to have to use the brawling style to play into the feud, because that's what those guys, that's what would work best.
Yeah, a double count out. No, just something. It'd be something. It's going to lead into a brawl. Like, something's going to go wrong. No contest that goes into Mania. We're going to keep you big motherfuckers in the ring. Or we're gonna have a winner regardless. We're gonna fucking, you know, lumberjack match or no DQ. Someone's gonna win. We're gonna get a victory out of somebody, which they need in WrestleMania always. You gotta have a finish. So that's my view. And who do you see win it? You said?
I said Cena.
You don't bet against Cena. I keep remembering that. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah. And you picked no DQ.
No DQ, dude.
Alright, and then moving on, I think this is a bonus match. I don't remember this match being announced, but I didn't watch SmackDown. But Ziggler, Rowan, and Ryback versus Rollins, Big Show, and Kane. 6-man tag match. I feel like we've seen this match probably on Raw at least once. But I think that they're just going to take down the faces. I think Rollins is going to win. The Authority is going to win, led by Rollins on this feud right here.
You know, and this is something that I've addressed way before, is that I hate this 3-man clusterfuck of Ryback, Rollins, and Ziggler. It's like, please get these guys away from each other. But I just think,
it's kind of a weak-based faction. It's kind of
well, like, they have no direction.
Squad. Yeah, it's like you have Roman that they kind of know what they're doing with, Daniel Bryan that they kind of know what they're doing with, Cena that they know what they're doing with, and then they have the B Squad faces that they have no clue what they're doing with, so they just group them all together, and that's what you have here with with this faction, and it's been going on since Survivor Series. Mm-hmm. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, who gets the pin?
I would say Seth Rollins pins one of them.
You think Rowan? You think, because I see the Authority winning this as well. J&J is gonna earn their money, and I think that's gonna be the difference maker in this match. The involvement of J&J. Poor Rowan's going to take the fall. Either that or Ziggler. Ryback's not taking the fall. If Ziggler takes the fall, it's because, again, that's Vince and Kevin rubbing in the face of the marks. And poor Rowan, he's the Becky Lynch. You know, he's like the odd man out, you know. I say Becky Lynch and say what was happening in the 4-way. Who was the conversation with somebody? I think it was with Nathan. What up, Nate? With the fact that she was the only woman in that fatal 4-way you just didn't even see coming close to that belt, you know. And I see Rowan as like the odd man out in this. Like, he's the last of the guys that would even be considered to not be pinned. The only other person I would suspect would be Kane. You know, say if the faces won.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, well, maybe Big Show. Well, yeah, I just can't see the faces winning on this. I think they're trying to heat up Rollins for whatever they're going to do with him at Mania. So, and then the Big Show and Kane are just kind of on his team. So this is really Rollins winning, but like the Big Show and Kane just happen to be lucky enough to be like teamed with him in storyline.
I see in something like this because they're all losers. You know, that's what they're being bunched together as. Ryback, Ziggler, and Rowan. They're just 3 losers, 3 jabronis, yeah. Right? And they're kind of lumped together, and they're pity party after the whole return of the Authority. I think there's going to be a bit of frustration in this match from the faces side. And you also see, you know, again, J&J involvement, but there's going to be a bit of frustration. And I see, like I said before, the odd man out, which is Rowan. So I don't know where the fuck they're going to go with that, with him, and who cares. But I see a moment where there's going to be dissension between Ziggler and Ryback. and that's going to lead towards the two of them having a match in WrestleMania. I know there's speculations of Ziggler versus Bryan, but again, that was just a little Twitter thing that they did. That's going to be ruled out. I have my predictions on when we get to Bryan versus Reigns, and I'll move on to that when I talk more about that.
Nice. And then moving on, we have, I guess, your feud of the show: Goldust versus Stardust. Peter, who do you got in this match?
I see Stardust winning. Stardust is going to be a dirty little fuck, and he's going to kick Rhodes in the nuts or give him a low blow when the ref's not looking. I see the referee going down in this feud, in this match, and I see I see Stardust Cody just a couple of chair shots, a couple of low blows, maybe even take the turnbuckle, the turnbuckle off the corner. I see that happening. I just see an old school style match, something Crockett, like just a straight up, mid-Atlantic style of fight, and it's going to be a thing of beauty. And poor Dustin is going to get his ass handed to him because of all this dirtiness, because I don't think he really wants to fight his brother, and that's going to be telling the story, and he's going to lay down and take the abuse and ultimately lose for it, and then he's going to come back as Dustin for WrestleMania.
I can see it going that way, but I think maybe Goldust is going to win to upset Stardust even more, and then that's going to push him to the Mania match. I see Goldust winning this one, and then I see Stardust winning at Mania. So I'm going to go Stardust with this one. Alright, Goldust with this one.
Alright.
And then moving on, we got my match of the night, Cesaro and the Usos. I really do think it's time to get the Usos, get the belt off of them, and we talked about that feud that they might do with Natty and Cesaro and Tyson. So that would be a much better feud if they had the belts on the tag champs while they were teasing this tension. Obviously the best in-ring tag team in the company right now. They deserve the belts. I'm going Cesaro and Kid. Who do you got?
I got just like you don't bet against Cena, I will not bet against the Usos.
Okay.
And I mean, and that's the thing. The storyline will be told through Cesaro and Kid and Natty. That's where the story's going to go. And I think if they get those belts, I don't see much of a storyline happening with them with the belts. Because if you get a belt, just look at all the belts. The only belt that actually has a storyline attached to it is Rusev with the U.S. title. The Intercontinental title's on Bad News Barrett, and where the fuck is he? The tag team champions, the Usos, the only reason they have a storyline is because they're trying to advance the storyline between Kid and Natty and Cesaro. The World Heavyweight Championship is not even on TV, so I just don't see them getting, unless whoever gets the belt or will be written off. Whoever doesn't have the belts will develop a story, and I see Kid and Cesaro losing to the savvy veterans, which are the Usos, and then they're going to advance the storyline between Cesaro, Kid, and Natty, unless in their minds, which is they just recreate the whole Mega Powers combined and Elizabeth with the belts kind of a thing. But I just don't see that happening with the belts. I see it happening without the belts.
Yeah, I just think it would just help the feud so much to have the belts on it, just kind of shine like even more of or make it seem like a bigger deal. But yeah, I can see maybe the Usos winning too. You're right about the whole never bet against them thing. They do seem to kind of win a lot. They have the belts. What is it, like the 5th or 6th time now?
It's like the 4th or something like that.
The 4th? Oh, well, I don't.
But they fought to get to that belt for fucking ever, though. It took them like 4 years. Because I remember when they debuted with Tamina, and it took them a long time to get to those belts. So it's not like they just all of a sudden, it's not like they had had this reign for a very long time. I mean, they fought and clawed and finally got to it, so deservingly to sort of go back and forth with them. But the only problem is they've done nothing with them with the belts other than just win. They're kind
of getting in like the Sheamus zone where their character is not really developing. They don't really have much, of a character at all. They just kind of come out. They got the entrance. They're happy-go-lucky. Kids like them.
Well, they had their opportunity, dude. They had their opportunity. The whole Miz thing, like they had this, and that was one of the coolest things we've seen out of the Usos when Jimmy came out and cold smacked the shit out of the Miz. That was like the first time we got this, we got to know who the fuck they were. And then as soon as they between Naomi and Jimmy said no, we don't want to do this storyline, they just went back to just being the happy-go-lucky fucking Samoans. And I think they did themselves an uber injustice, especially to themselves, but to the fans. Because I consider myself a Usos fan, and I'm not a fan of the calling of their matches by fucking Michael Cole, him Uso crazy, or hearing JBL all of a sudden become a face commentary because of the Usos. It's just a weird thing to me, but we've been denied more of a storyline because of them, because of their own fucking doing, and that's just the way I see it. And who's going to take the weight? Look at this sort of love triangle developing within Kid, Cesaro, and Natty. And I fucking called it, dude. They're like, shit, we'll take it. Like, next man up. You don't want it? Shit, hand it over.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. So then moving on, we have the Bad News Bear with the IC title versus Dean Ambrose, who's been trying to get on the Wall of Fame, trying to get the IC title. You've been kind of outspoken about him, like pushing for the IC title. What do you think about this match? I think it's gonna be pretty good, but do you see Dean winning, or what do you see here?
Again, those belts just get your ass off TV. It just seems like you don't get no kind of push or any kind of anything with those belts, in your possession. I think, God, I see Bad News winning.
Yeah,
I see
me too, actually.
Because honestly, a guy like Dean Ambrose, him doing all this stuff, his beef to me still is with Rollins. And regardless of him wanting to put his face and this, that, and the other, and I see no revolution of the importance of that IC belt. I don't. And I don't think anyone in his possession, along with that U.S. title, is going to help it any. And if Dean Ambrose wins and he gets the Intercontinental belt, it's going to be no different than any other Intercontinental champion before him in the past 5-6 years. And I don't think it's going to do anything more than him just having the belt. His feud with me still lies with Rollins. One day they're going to return to that match, and Rollins is going to be heavyweight champion, and Ambrose is going to go after him, and he's going to want that fucking belt from him as well. So that's just the way I see it. So I see Bad News Barrett retaining, and Ambrose basically focusing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he'll go back at it again at Mania and win it or something like that. It'd be nice to see a Intercontinental title change on a WrestleMania if they're going to do that. But that'd be the only thing I'd be rooting for. That thing, because when the last time the Intercontinental Championship has been defended on WrestleMania?
I couldn't tell you, man. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine with that one.
So that's what I'm shooting for. That's what I'm rooting for.
Yeah, I just think Bad News is going to win it just because, maybe not because he's going to move on to wrestle Rollins at Mania or anything. I mean, I can see that happening, but I just think Bad News is just going to win because Dean's he's more elevated than the belt, and they're just kind of putting him in this transition feud before they figure out what to do with him at Mania.
Yeah, and I think it would turn out to be, I mean, on a card like that, like say take whatever card they got drawn out, Triple H, Sting, Lesnar, Reigns, Bryan, Sheamus, an Intercontinental defense would be the pre-show, and I think people would actually tune in to watch the crowd go crazy for Dean Ambrose winning the match for the pre-show.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not I don't see that happening on the pre-show. I think that's actually going to happen on the card. Maybe not the pre-show itself, but I do think maybe Rusev and Cena would kick the show off. I mean, just like, you know how the crowd hype at the very beginning, have Cena open just to get the attention off of Cena to then push the Roman and Bryan match, which is the main event. And it's kind of a weird thing they're doing here, is making their top faces both tweeners for this one storyline. I don't really like it. I don't know who's going to win. Who do you think's going to win this?
Win what?
The main event, Roman versus Bryan.
Oh, that's the last match?
That is the last match.
Oh, well, I see Roman Reigns winning because there's going to be interference by Sheamus. And something I spoke of in the last podcast. I see Sheamus coming in, taking his foot, shoving it so deep up down Daniel Bryan's throat. He's eating soul food. And Reigns is going to move on, and they're going to build the match between Sheamus and. You cost me the heavyweight championship, blah, 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 blah. Remember when I kicked your ass in 18 seconds, blah, 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 and then they get their WrestleMania match. And just to move forward on what you think, Cena opening, I see Bryan opening WrestleMania versus Sheamus to get him as far.
I was not saying Cena opening WrestleMania. I was saying Cena and Rusev open this card, Fastlane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just talking about Fastlane here with this card that we're. But you said Roman winning. I want to say for this main event, I definitely see that there being like a disqualification, like a no victory, having a three-way at Mania versus Brock.
Oh God!
Because last year Mania they had Batista, Randy Orton, and Daniel Bryan, and that was definitely a good main event. It was definitely a hype crowd. And then Royal Rumble, the best match on the card was definitely the three-way. I think they like the dynamic of the three-way nowadays, and I think definitely with Brock, Roman Reigns, and Bryan, you have a great dynamic of promos to play off of. And that gives you two guys to cut promos while Brock isn't there every week.
Dude, I'm sitting back to wait to see y'all feelings hurt on this. I'm just sitting back, chomping at the bit. I'm chomping at the bit. Because you're not getting no triple threat. You're not going to get Daniel Bryan 2 years in a row in a compromised Rumble and a compromised main event. It's just, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. I think the match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar for the heavyweight championship, two actual heavyweights in the ring, is going to fucking actually do just fine. Because I just see it happening. I don't know why would you bring in a third guy and this pipsqueak of a Daniel Bryan to basically to do what? Just be there?
What? No, you would definitely bring Daniel Bryan into a cover of Roman's weaknesses. He's not good enough to carry a full main event WrestleMania caliber match
against Brock Lesnar. He sure as fuck will.
Well, I'm not done with my thought. And then also he's calling him a pipsqueak. He's definitely way more over than Roman. You can definitely see that with, he doesn't have to throw t-shirts to the crowd. He's just over. So they do little things like that to already cover up Roman's weaknesses. So he would definitely be there to cover Roman's weaknesses, to get the crowd over, and the big guy, little guy dynamic with him and Lesnar would definitely make Lesnar's moves look way more impressive at a big match like Mania. So I see nothing wrong with having Daniel Bryan in this match. And if you have to have Roman Reigns in it to appease Vince, then that's how you do it. Three-way match. Everyone's happy. and overall makes a better match.
Everyone's happy my ass. Because as soon as the shit happens, someone's going to be pissed off that it didn't turn out the way that they wanted to. So, okay, put Daniel Bryan, pipsqueak ass, jabroni ass in the main event, right? And he actually loses. Then what? Because you don't want him in the main event to lose, obviously, right?
Oh, yeah, he's definitely winning.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Roman is not ready. He never lost in the first place. He's more over than Roman, and Lesnar's going to go to the UFC, so you got to put it on somebody. Why not the most over face, which is Daniel Bryan?
I say it when I believe it.
I go to school, and walking around school, I don't see anyone with any other shirts other than Daniel Bryan shirts. Like, people that don't know wrestling know the beard guy.
Well, if you know about wrestling, you know a goddamn T-shirt shouldn't matter anything.
T-shirts matter the most because it's all about money, as people talk, and that's how people make the most money in merchandise sales nowadays. That's how Cena got over so much. That's how Cena... Because he's
a heavyweight. Because he's a fucking 6'3", 250-pound motherfucker in the ring that can hold a microphone and actually get into the ring and look like a big guy. Like, I don't get it.
Well, you should look at guys like, maybe, let's see, Flair, Steamboat, Shawn Michaels. All these guys are smaller guys.
When it came to the WWE, Ricky Steamboat never held the heavyweight championship, okay? If you're talking about a guy like, if you want to talk about a guy like Shawn Michaels beating big guys, you want to talk about a guy like Macho Man beating a big guy, it's because you know what happens? You know what the difference between Daniel Bryan and, say, Macho Man and, say, Shawn Michaels is the fact that the fingernail of charisma and showmanship and superstar of both Michaels, the fingernail will outshine Daniel Bryan by fucking galaxies. Those guys were larger than life. Yeah, they were at their size, but you know what? Their charisma made them a badass, you know? So what the fuck does Daniel Bryan got other than some snarky look on his face? Or the fact that he's just like this underdog. Like, there's nothing screaming charisma about Daniel Bryan. And for people to put him in the same light just because of his size to, like, say, Bret Michaels. Shawn Michaels, I think it's asinine.
You'd put him to the same light because, first and foremost, they are world champions. They have been former world champions. And Shawn Michaels helped train Daniel Bryan.
Doesn't matter, but where's his charisma? Where's his larger-than-life charisma? Why is this guy on the Today Show? Why is this guy not on...
The Yes Movement is the most over thing that has happened in the last, 5 or 6 years. So, yes, he doesn't have charisma that is, of the same likeness of a Macho Man and Shawn Michaels. It fits to it fits to the time period where we are today, where he's a little bit more, humble about it.
Where's the Good Morning America appearances? Where's the Late Night with Jimmy Fallon appearances? Where's the appearances on different shows? Where's this? Where's that? There's so many things that these superstars, that these guys, these larger-than-life guys that happened within the 80s and the 90s, I don't live in the past. I'm just looking at what's going on now. If these guys were as larger-than-life, because the WWE is their business. They do what they want. They make money. Okay, they make their money. They're not making where they make their money with shows is within the Royal Rumble, because you shouldn't just only be rooting for one guy to win. It should be enough star power on your roster that you have a whole plethora of guys to root for.
I agree, but that's just not the case.
And then what you do is you showcase these guys out on TV, special appearances. You get them out there and you fucking have them sell product. And that ain't happening. And you think, I can see all these phone calls are coming in from different networks and different talk shows asking for Daniel Bryan. It's like, what? No. Oh, you're on the path to WrestleMania to get the World Heavyweight Championship. The people in the crowd will be like, World Heavyweight Champion? That guy? Heavyweight champion?
No, the people in the crowd, dude.
I can go kick his ass.
Did you not see last year? Last year, you disproving everything you said. There was already 100,000 people doing the yes thing. People know who he is. He's already been the top star for 2 or 3 years now on TV.
You see Daniel Bryan on the Jimmy Fallon, late night with Jimmy Fallon, promoting the WrestleMania match, and him going in to try to win the heavyweight championship of the world.
Yeah, I think he's got an interesting story, especially since he lived his dream and then he had to break his neck and now he's trying to live his dream again. I think that's a perfect story to tell on TV, radio,
a heavyweight champion,
world traveler. I mean,
heavyweight champion,
interesting person,
heavyweight champion. He's sitting in there. Jimmy Fallon fans aren't really necessarily, if they do know a little bit about wrestling, they're gonna look at this guy. It's like, world heavyweight championship. What?
Well, I mean, I specifically remember The Miz, who is also a smaller guy. When he had the world title, he was showing up on Conan O'Brien and things like that to do exactly what you're talking about. He was definitely a smaller guy. So you had a smaller guy.
But the difference between The Miz and the difference between Daniel Bryan is the fact that The Miz already has a on-screen celebrity. He is already an on-screen celebrity. Do you know how big Road Rules was? Road Rules was big. It helped The Miz and his cause to be able to help bring publicity, mainstream publicity, to the WWE. That's why Vince McMahon was really about the guy, because he was already a star.
Vince McMahon is also to this point. Vince McMahon is also really about Roman Reigns now, and that's the last time.
Because he's a big motherfucker that looks good. He can sell your product.
Stop.
He could go to Jimmy Fallon, and the women will fucking lose their mind. He can go on Ellen. He can go on The View. He can go on Good Morning America. Women are gonna lose their mind. He's gonna be a package that you can sell to fucking push your product forward. Like, I understand. I mean,
but the product is not a good product with Roman Reigns. You will be pushing a bad product with a good look.
Look at us. We went from fucking doing predictions to bitching at each other about.
But can I say something? You mentioned The Miz and how he wasn't ready, and that's how that.
I didn't say he wasn't ready.
If you put Roman in that same position, this Mania is going to suck. They need to learn from them. They need to learn what they did with The Miz. You need to cover him. You need to cover Roman up in a three-way. You can have him win the three-way. I don't care, but in order to make
I didn't say Miz wasn't ready. I said The Miz
was not ready.
He was already.
He was not ready for that Mania match. He was not ready. That Mania match was awful, and this is what they're going to do again, because Vince McMahon wants to push Roman just like he wanted to push The Miz at the time.
Well, the issue with The Miz with the Cena match at Mania was the fact that he was only enhancement of pushing the storyline between Cena and The Rock. That's all that was.
I mean that might be true, but the match itself was not good. I feel like if there was a better worker in the match, he could have recovered that. But since The Miz was new at the time and not that good, he could not do it.
He was good.
Roman can't do it.
He was good, and people want to talk shit about The Miz not being anything. The Miz has been at it for a while. He's an asshole. I think in character, he does his character really well to think that he's just some shitty. He rose the ranks just like everyone else. To say he deserved to be at the main event in WrestleMania, even retaining against John Cena, hey, that's all left to speculation, to whoever feels that one. It's not about what's deserving. It's about leverage. It's about networking. How you use whatever you have to move yourself to a position that's better for you. That's great, whatever. But Miz, even when he was with Road Rules, he was already on the independent circuits. He went through OVW. He did all the things he had to do to get up there. And I was a Miz fan at the time. I'm not so much now because there's other guys to root for, But at the same time, I'm not going to throw him under the carpet as if he's just some guy who just ended up there. Like, because. I think he earned it just as much as anyone else in the fucking company that ended up main eventing at WrestleMania did,
Sure, he definitely earned it, but it just wasn't a good match. That was the point.
I thought it was a decent match. I thought it was a pretty decent match.
You could earn it from a company standpoint of working hard, but as far as the overall outcome of what I see as entertainment, it's not going to be as good. That's why they're going to need, sure, from a company you'd want to push Roman Reigns, but that's like a good label with a shitty soda. You want a good soda, and then you can put whatever label you want on it, and Daniel Bryan is a better product. His moves are better.
He's a better product in certain ways, but he's not a better product in other ways that say what Roman Reigns can have. This guy has nothing but time in front of him. He's a better package. He's a bigger guy. He's good looking. You can put whatever, dude, whatever. It ain't Callahan breaks here, you know, and that's what I use. That's the analogy that I like to use sometimes when describing you know, a bad product with a good package. You know, Callahan from Tommy Boy. That's what Dan Aykroyd wanted to do. He wanted to buy Callahan for the package and then put his shitty breaks in it. And I just don't see it as the same. It's not the same. It's not the same analogy. I think you are putting good breaks in a Callahan for WWE standards to put Roman Reigns in that position. It's just what it is. I think he has a lot of time to improve, or what have you. I mean, I'm not like someone who's going like, yes, please get Roman Reigns. No, I'm like Brock Lesnar. Pay what that motherfucker deserves and keep him as a fucking megastar, because the only guy, you know, I don't know if you listened to the thing I uploaded yesterday with Sleg Daddy, but that's one of the things he's talking about. He goes like, the only guy that would even hold a candle that would exist in either Attitude Era or Golden Era would be Brock Lesnar. That guy's larger than life, you know. That guy's a megastar, and he's probably the biggest babyface in the company right now. He's a bigger babyface than Daniel Bryan. When he stepped into the room, the entire complexion changes.
That's true. That's true.
Because he's a formidable badass. So I see, again, it's good to go back and forth like this, because this is a prediction show. I see Roman Reigns winning because of Sheamus interference. He's going off to WrestleMania to lose to Brock Lesnar.
Well, okay, that's fine. That's fine. I definitely don't see Sheamus coming in. I don't know. I just don't see the way they're doing that. I think Sheamus is more of a mid-card guy at this point. But
not as a heel.
I guess I'd be interested. If they could do that. But I don't think they can turn him heel, man. I think they just don't want to as a company.
They're gonna turn his ass heel. He's been itching for a heel turn because even as a face, he's a fucking jerk. I hate Sheamus as a fucking face. He's a jerk.
I definitely think he'd be more suited as a heel, but I just don't think it's happening. It's weird.
Then what other heels do they have on the roster?
This is true. Yeah, this is true. I mean,
at least a believable, big ass, badass heel. You got all these baby faces, from the Usos to the fucking Ziggler to Rowan to Ryback to fucking Cena. You got Dean Ambrose. He's a face. You know, like. Who are the heels? The Miz?
No, this is true. They definitely need heels. This would definitely work, but I mean, sometimes they don't do what I think would work. You know.
Well, I think Sheamus as a heel coming in distract. That's what's gonna happen. I'm telling you, it's what's gonna happen.
Okay, I'm down to watch it. Are you trying to maybe like get up, man? I'm going to that one show at Ziggy's, the PWX pay-per-view. I'm gonna be there too. So
I wish I could go to that, man, but I'm so broke. I can't afford it. I'm just gonna have to sit that out. And then I mean, if it'd be a waste to go up to, unless your dad and your uncle wanted to go see Fastlane over at Longshanks, that would be cool. But if it's just gonna be me and you, man, we may as well just stream it from the house.
Yeah, I'm down with that, dude. Get some beer.
Yeah.
Word. And we can maybe do a show after that?
Yeah, we could do that, definitely.
Word. Alright, dude.
Well, that's our...
I like it like this. I like Skype.
That's our predictions for WrestleMania, folks. WrestleMania for fuck Fastlane. That's our predictions for Fastlane, WWE Fastlane, folks. Again, if you're listening to this, make sure you like, and also when you're doing your Fastlane in the World podcast, be sure to talk to the people to like, subscribe, bookmark, Share with your friends, get the word out. This is the only way we can continue to do these. And I want to give a shout out, actually, before we leave, to the people who are listening on YouTube. I went and checked out recently, and I'm seeing that there are some views on on the YouTube uploads. And thank you so much. They're a pain in the ass to do, because there's a whole other mechanism, a whole other system to be able to get YouTube videos up outside of, say, what's happened, with just uploading to YouTube and uploading to SoundCloud and having the RSS feed to Tumblr and Stitcher Radio. Thank you so much for listening. Again, you guys like the videos, leave comments on the videos, share your videos with your friends, whether it's Google Plus, whether it's Pinterest, whether it's any of those vehicles, to be able to share good conversation, commentary between a very logical, very smart Mark versus a very indie written jabroni Mark, such as Jake.
Whatever. Speaking of, did you hear Samoa Joe got released from TNA?
Well, he didn't get released. He left.
Oh, well,
he didn't renew his contract.
What do you think about that? I think that's kind of cool. I know he's wrestling MVP on some show out in the Northeast.
Well, that's good that he's able to basically find a job right afterwards. Apparently, he doesn't have one of those compete clauses in his contract. He's actually able to just go out and do some stuff. I can see him going to NXT, but there's way more money, way more juice to be had, say, if he went to New Japan or, say, to ROH, and do indies as an ROH guy. I mean, there's no shame in going back to ROH. I think a lot of people will be happy to see him return. I think a lot of opportunities will open up for him. Somehow, hell, maybe as a baby face, maybe he can join the Bullet Club if he was part of, he's a heel, what have you. I think wherever he goes, he's going to do just fine. Getting off that TNA roster is golden. It's just golden.
Oh, cool. It's great. And I think, I definitely agree. I think going back to Ring of Honor would help out Ring of Honor so much, because he held the title there for 2 years. He solidified the belt, and now it's on a tag. Jay Briscoe, which is he's known as the tag champion, and he's wrestling Henson and Tommaso Ciampa and all these guys who are kind of not. I wouldn't really put them on the same tier as Joe, so they can go back and Joe can maybe win the belt again, go up against some Jay Briscoe, some AJs, and defend the belt. I think that'll help his career and help Ring of Honor out a lot.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Del Rio is with ROH as well, right?
I know he's done a few matches, but I know that you can work for Ring of Honor and technically not be a Ring of Honor wrestler. I think the Young Bucks take advantage of that, and I think Del Rio is technically with Lucha Underground officially now, so if I'm not mistaken, I think he cannot work for Ring of Honor anymore.
Really? Well, he's AAA and Lucha, but I think it's fine, because it really, in my humble opinion, I think it does ROH a bit of business to know that they have a guy on another promotion. Then people are like, well, check him out on ROH. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm saying not on a Ring of Honor end. I'm saying on a Lucha Underground, and they might not allow him to do that. Oh yeah, they allow him. I mean, as long as they allow other guys to perform on AAA. I mean, I think they just get. No,
I mean, you can perform on AAA because AAA and Lucha Underground are affiliated. So you would be able to do both on there, but Ring of Honor is not affiliated with either.
But they also have an affiliation. But ROH also has an affiliation with New Japan, which also has an affiliation with AAA. I mean, I think they all work together. Honestly.
We'll see. We'll see what
we'll definitely see. But I would definitely be chomping at the bit for a Samoa Joe ADR. That would be nice. That'd be good to see. Yeah. That's what I'm getting at. If he does go to ROH,
that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. You got any last words?
No, man. Hit me up on Twitter, JG Pro Wrestling. That's it.
You need to set up some more stuff, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I try not to be too busy on the phone all the time, man. Try to get some stuff done, like with work and school.
Oh, yeah. What you're saying, you have a life? Thanks, dude. Thanks. Thanks.
I wasn't trying to be that blunt with it, but...
dude, you got to reach out a little bit in order for people to get at you. You feel me?
I hear you.
But, yeah, and we're going to conclude it at that. Again, share, like, PJTW Central.com, PJTW Central on Twitter, Ellen Japanese, Twitter, Ellen Japanese, Instagram, PJTW Central on Pinterest. I just got one of those motherfuckers. Also, PJT Central YouTube. Go to all those things, man. I'm busting my ass out here, man. I'm busting my ass to make sure that you guys get quality conversation and content from us two jabronis. And without further ado, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy Fastlane. And stay warm if you're over in the East Coast. All right, that it?
Yeah, later.
All right, peace.
All right.
You have been listening to Peter and Jake Talks Wrasslin podcast. Please tune in next week.